And first off, we'll set the time on the TO thermostat, and to do this we just need to press the clock button, which will liven up the minutes, which you can adjust by these up and down keys. Press clock again to go to the hours, similarly change those. Press the clock button again to go to day, change to the current day of the week, and then press square to confirm all your settings. Okay, so to run through some of the buttons, functions and symbols through the TO thermostat, initially we have the power button here, which will give you on and off, the timer, which will effectively change the clock and some of the programming, the function button, which will move you from, say, for example, manual through to timed function. And then we have the adjustment arrows, which will provide up and down function for, say, setting thermostats or time temperatures. Obviously we have the clock here. This is showing current room temperature. If you press one of the up or down keys, you'll see the set to temperature that you've currently got during that either time period or manual period. This symbol here is showing you that you've got a Wi-Fi connection. As it is solid, it is showing that it's connected to the app and it's connected to the Wi-Fi effectively, so that is functioning as a Wi-Fi controlled thermostat as well. We also have the day of the week and the room thermostat that it is currently reading. So this room thermostat has the functionality to be used as just an initial air room thermostat through this thermostat itself, or it can measure purely from a floor probe in a wet room, for example, or it can actually measure both. So as you internally, which we'll do later, select which thermostat is reading, it will show on this screen, this symbol here, which thermostat it is actually reading at that current point. And finally, if you're in the time section, the small house here just shows you the time periods of the day that the room thermostat is currently in, of which there are 6. So to select the sensor, alter the sensor selection on the stat. First of all, you have to power off the stat and then press and hold the function button for 5 seconds. It should go into a separate menu. And then if you look at your chart that you get with the instructions, you'll be able to see that you can scroll through the different tables inside, and these have different functions and different meanings and different settings that you can choose as you go through. So we're going to go all the way back to selection number 4, which is which sensor you're going to choose. At the moment it was looking at both air temperature and the room thermostat temperature, and the floor probe sensor at the same time. We're going to go back to just the floor sensor for now, accept that, and then power off and power back on to keep that selection on the room stat. And now this stat is just functioning on a floor probe that may be remotely connected in a room adjacent to the stat. Set a program on the thermostat. We'll do quite a simple program initially. All the days of the week will be the same, and on the weekend we'll do the Saturday and Sunday slightly differently, but essentially just those 2 days are the same. Obviously, depending on your lifestyle, you may need to do each day independently, but for now, for the purposes of this, we will just do it on a weekly block. So to do that, you just press and hold the function button in the middle there for 5 seconds, and it will flash up whether we want to do the full bank of the week or individual days, Saturday and Sunday. We're going to go for the full week. Press OK on that, and then it will start to bring up the initial time period that the heating is due to kick in. So for this, we'll just leave it at 6 o'clock for now, but you can alter that here obviously. And then as we move over, it will be the temperature that you select for that time period, which we'll keep at 21. And now it moves on to the next section of the day. So this is the end period of the initial temperature that you set on the previous setting. So we would say perhaps we will have left for work at 8:15. So we're happy with that time. And we move on to a temperature which will be your unoccupied temperature. So perhaps you've all gone out for the day, so you want a slightly lower temperature than the set point that we had while it was occupied. So we'll drop it to say 3 degrees. And in this circumstance, the family is out for the whole day. So this middle section is kind of irrelevant. So we'll keep it at 18. Again, keep this section at 18. And then family comes home to return around about 4 o'clock, let's say, 4:30. And then we'll have an occupied temperature from 4:30 until night time. Everyone retires, goes to bed at 10 o'clock, which is good, happy with that time. And then we'll have an overnight temperature of today, just a little bit lower overnight. Between 3 or 4 degrees, you want your occupied and unoccupied set point temperatures varying between. We don't really want, if you're using an air source heat pump, the underfloor to be off for any length period of time due to having to work harder for recovery. So for the weekend, we will start this a little bit later. And we're going to occupy the home a whole day on the weekend, so we'll keep it very simple and have the whole day running at 21. And then we'll have our setback temperature overnight, 17 degrees, and then we will repeat that for the Sunday. And then once you are happy with your program, to get out and to confirm it all, press the power button, and that is now programmed in and scheduled in on the stat. You must ensure that you've got your clock there. That means it is actually in timer mode. If you switch between that is manual mode. That is any current temperature that you're setting, which will be fixed for 24 hours, or switch back to the timer to run at the program that you have just set.